Welcome to this week's Whisky Burn. My name's Jay and this is my Whisky Den. And this week we're talking about whiskies and movies and TV shows. Okay, so here we are this week combining two of my favourite things, films and whiskey. I've actually made a few films in the past, none that you will probably have seen or recognise, but that's irrelevant. I love film and I love whiskey, hence the YouTube channel. So please subscribe, like, comment, even if it's constructive criticism. Get in those comments and let me know what you think. So I've got 4 brands here of whiskey and try and associate them with which TV show or which film. So I'm going to start with a Dalmore. This was a film called Kingsman, and I believe Samuel Jackson was in it, and he gets offered some Dalmore 12, which is a really nice drink, hence why I've only got a bit left in there. And basically, it's one of those drinks that I think they pay. Ultimately, I think, we're not daft. They pay to get X number of seconds of their product on screen in some big branded famous persons and hope that the film is a success. So the Dalmore was in Kingsman, not a bad film with Samuel L. Jackson. Pretty good, that. He seems to like it when he's surrounded by dead bodies and he gets past a Dalmore whiskey. What more do you want? Some other ones like Lagavulin. That's in the Star Trek movies, and I believe that one called Montgomery. I need to do a bit of research on that, but a Montgomery whiskey is going to be in the new Star Trek that is being released. Again, I believe it's all down to money and how much money a company can throw at a franchise or a movie to be associated with it. So you've got things like, remember Squid Game? That very, very dark, twisted TV program. Well, Johnny Walker has brought out the Squid Game, if you want, limited edition design. It's a 12-year-old, so it's not just any old sort of chucked in there. And I have number 120, and coincidentally, very coincidentally, my good friend bought one of these randomly, and he got number 120 as well. So there you go. Johnny Walker there. So Squid Game association, but actually the bottle now. I don't know whether this was in Squid Game, but they would have paid or come up with some deal where Squid Game and Johnny Walker would have combined together for that. Glenlivet, one of my favourite drinks, this one, the Founder's Reserve. Not yet open, I've still got a bottle in there, but I thought it'd be nice to have the unopened bottle of the Glenlivet Founder's Reserve. Glenlivet, here's a little fact for you. Glenlivet. This brand, the Glenlivet, is the most used bottle of whiskey in TV and film. There you go. Little fact. The most used single Scotch, Glenlivet. And do you remember Mad Men? Mad Men, one of them was a bit of a whiskey nut. Glenlivet. Now, I don't know how much they paid for that, but I imagine it's quite a bit. Go back to the Johnny Walker. Forgot to mention the stat about Johnny Walker. The most used blend. The most used blend in TV and film. Didn't know that. I suppose it's because they've got quite a few, like red, blue, black, double black, etc., etc. So, I can sort of understand that one. And Johnny Walker makes a fortune. And then one of my favourite film franchises is the old James Bond and the Macallan. For me, one of the most infamous and one of my favourite films is Skyfall with Daniel Craig, and he gets offered a 50-year-old glass of Macallan right before his girlfriend gets shot, which is just lovely. But they must pay an absolute fortune for the Bond association of Macallan and James Bond, because in my eyes, James Bond's one of the best series films ever. I grew up watching Roger Moore, kind of give my age away a bit there, but I think Daniel Craig was absolutely perfect for me. He was the perfect Bond, and Skyfall, Casino Royale, some of my best films ever. So I do have a cheeky whiskey whilst watching the films. Do you? So yeah, so here we've got two of the best used whiskies in TV and film. So what do you think? Have you noticed any? I know that Lagavulin is in quite a few. Like I said, it was in Star Trek. But I remember the Glenlivet, I'm pretty sure it's Glenlivet, in Mad Men. Great programme, that. A few years back now. And obviously the Dalmore, which is the one I'm going to taste, actually. I know it's the only one that's open out of these four, but I love it. I do love it. But here's something for you. If you're watching a film, say you're watching Mad Men, and you see the character sat there, and he always goes for his Glenlivet bottle. Glenlivet bottle. And the next episode, Glenlivet bottle. Glenlivet bottle. Or if you're into Bond, and you see him doing his sort of, like I've seen him do, which is awful. For a beer, that one was, where he did that. It's terrible. Terrible. But if you see a character that you like in a programme that you like watching, will that make you go out and buy one of the whiskies? Let me know, comment below. Because it must do something, because otherwise they wouldn't be selling that much. But I suppose if it's associated with something good, therefore then people react that way, don't they? And it must work, because otherwise they wouldn't do it, would they? So here we go. Samuel Jackson, absolute badass actor. If you've never watched Shaft, you should watch that. So Dalmore 12, he gets handed while surrounded by dead bodies because he's a badass. Oh, such a beautiful smell to it, that. Absolutely lovely. Smooth as you like. Oh, fruits. Fruits. Beautiful Dalmore, that. What about the tasting notes? Outstanding single malt matured in American white oak. So that's a sweetness ex-Borgum and cask, finished in rare and aged. What's that say? Oloroso sherry casks. Very nice. Very nice. So there you go. So that's it for this week. Just a bit of a short one on the association of whiskies and films and TVs. Do they influence people? I'm guessing they must do. What do you think? Comment below. Let me know. Well, that rhymes, doesn't it? Bad rhyme. But yeah, there you go. That's it for this week. Movies, TVs, shows, and whiskey. Do they go together? I think they do. And if you get the right type of character, because you think about it, Bond, he's a good guy, but he can be a bit of a badass. People love him. Mad Men, that's like the sort of cool guys back in the 60s. Squid Game, yeah, it was very popular. So I think they went for the fact it's popular. I do believe Johnny Walker did a Game of Thrones double set of limited design bottles. So there's another one, limited design bottles. So, it's like, oh, we're bung an extra £5 on it. We'll sell loads because we'll say limited release. And then the Dalmore. Do these guys need advertising, or are they quite content without? Do they need that association? I don't know. I don't think some do, but the reputation of these, I think, is massive. So there you go. Next week, I've got a special tasting for you, the Cragganmore, and it's a beaut. So I'm told. I've never had it. So join me next week for that here on YouTube. As for this week, that's it. Enjoy your whiskey. Sláinte.